Hello everyone, I'm going to show you how to make a playing card today. On the screen you can see one version. I have a 4 of diamonds and you can see there's 4 diamond-like stars in the sky glowing. And also if you look carefully at the owl you can see some 4 diamond-shaped feathery type technique that I'm going to show you 2 different ways of doing that. So let's start off with a new document. Going to go to File, New. And we want the document to be 5 by 7 inches, resolution 300, create. And then I'm going to use the rectangular marquee to make that center area of the playing card. And I'm going to do this by doing a fixed size of my rectangular marquee tool. Oftentimes it's on normal, but I'm going to go to fixed size, and you can type in whatever width and height that you want. I know that I want 4 by 6. And so I can just click once, that makes a 4 by 6 instantly, and I can drag it to the center. I'm going to fill this with a color just as a placeholder for now. So I'm going to go to Edit, Fill. And you know what? I just realized it's very important that this is on its own layer. So I'm going to click the new layer icon before I fill it, and then go to Edit, Fill. So make sure you've done the same. I'm just going to choose, I don't know, a nice light blue just for now. And so I have defined that space. Next, I want to put the number and suit of the card. So I'm just going to use the text tool, make a new layer, click once and do a 4, whatever suit you're doing. Notice you can change the font here, right? You can change the color and so on. Going to use my Move Transform tool to move this down. It's a little bit large, so I'm going to go back to my text tool. Oops. Undo. Make sure I am doing this properly. Changing the size down to something a little bit more appropriate. That looks about right. Okay. And move it into place. And then I know I want one down in the opposite corner, so I'm going to take the 4 layer and drag it to the new layer icon so I have a copy. Use my Move Transform tool to move it away and rotate it. Okay, now I have that. Now I need the suit, the diamond, the heart, whatever yours is. And we're going to do that with a custom shape. This is the custom shape tool. Oftentimes it looks like a rectangle, but it's hiding. Custom shape is down here. And the setting in Photoshop is usually just to have wild animals and boats and flowers. So I'm going to show you how to get to the shapes that we want. You're going to go click on the Window tab and bring up Shapes. There it is, the Shapes palette. And you're not going to see this at first. You're just going to see this top thing. But if you go to the options here, that little hamburger, and you go to Legacy Shapes and More, you'll click on that. And that will automatically add all these shapes down here for you. So now you don't have to worry about that so much, but you'll go up to your shapes and you'll be able to see all these different options. The playing card suits are under All Legacy default shapes, okay? And there are some, and actually, let's see. Maybe and it's farther down under shapes. You'll have to you can probably have to look around for them, but it's under shapes there. And you can see there's the club, heart, spade, and diamond. I'm going to do diamonds. So I'm selecting diamonds, and I can just click and drag, holding down the Shift key to keep it proportional. Oops. And I can fill this with the color I want. There's the most recent dark blue that I just used, so I'm going to use that. Hit the return key, move it into place. Zoom in a little bit so I can do this a little bit more carefully. So the diamond is right underneath the 4. And again, I want another diamond, so I'm going to duplicate that in my layers palette by just dragging that to the new layer icon. That will put it right on top, and I can just move it down here into place. Okay, so now let's move our attention to the center area, and I have found a photograph of an owl and not that one, photograph of, oh, did I lose my sky? Oh, here's the moon. So I'm using the owl as my foreground and the moon as my background. You could do patterns in the background. You could do all kinds of things. I've used my quick selection tool to just paint in my selection of the owl. And I'm going to go to Edit, Copy, or Command C, go over to my new document here and paste it. Edit, paste. You might come up here with this paste profile mismatch. Sometimes things from the internet have different color sources, and you really don't need to worry about that. You can just say okay. I'm going to make this larger so that it will fit nicely into my playing card area. Notice I'm having the edge of the branches go off the side. That is fine. I will click the check mark or hit return. And then to get rid of these excess bits of branch, I'm just going to use my marquee tool. I'm making sure I'm on the owl layer because I'm going to be deleting those owl pixels. Whoops. And it was already on fixed size, so I need to go back to normal again. And so I can just make a rectangle around the area that I want to get rid of and hit the delete key. Do the same over here. I'm just clicking and dragging right along that edge, hitting the delete key on the keyboard. Command D is deselect. Now I want to get the background. So I'm going to go to the moon, select all, which is Command A, or under select all, whichever you prefer, copying it, going back to our document and pasting it. Now I want the moon to be underneath the owl, so I'm just going to drag it, use my move transform tool to make this, the top needs to go up to the top of the card image area, and the bottom needs to go all the way down to the bottom area here, right? So I'm making it large enough. I'm going to move this over so that the moon is inside the area that I want it to be, and hit return or the check mark. Now again, I want to get rid of the excess area of this sky. You could do that by making this a little bit transparent so I can see the edges. Go back to my marquee tool, go right along that edge, hit the delete key on the other side, getting rid of that side, hitting the delete key and Command D to deselect. Then I can bring the opacity right back up and make sure that that moon is below the owl, and there I have it. Now you're going to have to decide how you're going to put the diamonds, 4 diamonds into this. One way to do that is to add some feathery diamonds, and I'm going to do that with the clone stamp. The clone stamp looks like this, and you need to make sure that you're on the layer of the pixels that you're wanting to duplicate. So I'm going to click on the owl because I'm going to make more feathery things. Now the way that this clone stamp works is I'm going to hold down the Option key. That brings up this, I'm going to actually zoom in a little bit so we can see better. Option key brings up the target. When you put the target over the area that of the pixels you're going to want to copy, I'm going to put light feathery pixels over dark feathery pixels. So I'm putting the target over the light pixels, and I'm clicking once on the trackpad. Click. All right, that set this area as the resource area. So now I'm going to go over down into the darker feathery area, and watch what happens when I click and drag. It's painting the pixels up from my target area down to where my brush is. So I'm basically painting a diamond shape using the white pixels. I'm going to do this again. I'll set the point, holding down the Option key, clicking on the light pixels, coming back over, and just painting the shape of a diamond. And you can see the reason why I do that is because it still looks feathery. If I were to just paint on like a white, it would look really fake. Again, creating a target area, getting the light pixels, coming down into the darker feathery areas, and just painting a diamond shape. And maybe I'll do it one more time, like right here. So now I have my 4 diamonds, like the diamonds like it says on my card, 4 of diamonds. All right, I'll zoom out, back out again in a little bit. And you can kind of see it's a little bit abstract, but it gets the point across. Now I'm going to put 4 diamonds in the sky like stars. I'm going to use my custom shape tool again, and I have my diamond selected. I'm going to zoom in because I want these to be pretty tiny diamonds so I can kind of see what I'm doing. And I will click and drag. Now notice over here, the appearance pops up and I can click on the fill. I want this fill to be nice and bright white, not that beige color from the owl. And I want the stroke to maybe be, I think I'm going to want the stroke to be white as well. And then I'm going to go down to the effects. Remember, that's how you get to outer glow because I want the diamond to look glowing. Again, you can click on the glow color. So, I mean, if I wanted to have a red glow, you could, but I'm going to stick with white glow so it looks like a star. And you can play with the spread. You can play with the size. Okay, I want to make it look something like that. So now I have my diamond in the sky and I need 4 of them. So I'm going to go over to my layers palette and duplicate it so that I can then drag another one, duplicate it to the new layer icon, drag another one, and do it one more time so I have 4 diamonds. Now if you had a 6 of diamonds or something, then maybe you would keep going and then you can arrange them to make them look how you want them. And I'm going to do a Command 0 so I can see. And so there's 2 different ways of doing a 4 of diamonds design on your playing card. There's many ways to do this. If you run into trouble, ask your teacher. We're happy to help you figure out how to make your card look its best. Have fun.